Well, this one's an interesting one. It's not so much about this car, it's about switching from Octupus to EDF. Now, what Octupus did was they put our price up, and they put it up to 12p for the off-peak, which is a little bit annoying because we had been paying 3.5p and then we end up paying 12p. And after that we decided to move. Now, the other thing about Octupus, and you probably have the same problem, we have solar and an inverter and batteries on the house, which is fine, except Octupus want to charge at specific times they want to charge at, and although the car will do that, and it will turn the car on, turn the car off, as it should, we'd have to keep turning off the inverter because the inverter is not linked up to Octupus Go, so it made it very difficult, and charging overnight was the only option, so that we could charge both at the same time. Anyway, so we switched to EDF. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, EDF pay 15p for an export tariff, which is absolutely excellent. Except, they've been inundated with people because 15p is a really good price. And obviously, everybody has decided to get the output tariff at 15p by joining EDF. Now, that's inundated the small office and they can't cope with it all. They're struggling to, they've got a backlog which is going to be ages. But the point I'm trying to make is that once we switch, we didn't realise that they should automatically, or they don't automatically switch you, Octupus don't automatically switch you to the 4.5p tariff for export, which is supposed to be, by law, they're supposed to give you a basic export tariff. So if you're an Octupus customer, you can get you 12p or whatever it is in your area. But if you're not an Octupus customer, your export tariff is a standard one, which is just paid for on the grid. So they just give the 4.5p, which is pretty generous. It's not too bad. I think it was supposed to be 3.5p, but not bad. Anyway, we realised later that we weren't actually being paid for his export, and so because of that we had to ring up Octopus, who were very good actually, and they did switch it over to the 4.5p for us, so at least we're getting something. So what we'd been doing in the meantime, we're charging the car on Sunshine, which is that's pretty much okay, but what we were doing before was we were getting 12p a kilowatt you know, payment for export, and then paying 3.5p or 7.5p depending on what it was for the import on the charging of the car at night on off-peak. Anyway, just to be aware that if you do change supplier, make sure that if you've got an export, that they take on the export tariff at whatever they decided to offer, and that your previous one is not you know, not left out, you know, so that you don't end up where you're not paying anything, being paid anything. Sorry, I know it's confusing, I'm getting a bit ravelled up with my words. Well, basically it means that we're now back onto a standard export tariff at the house, and we charge his car at 7p a kilowatt from EDF. The export tariff is dealt with by Octupus, and the off-peak is dealt with by EDF until we can get it transferred over to EDF at 15p for export. And that's about it really. There's nothing much else to say about it. The car seems okay so far. All seems well. Still haven't had anything from Nisan about the Leaf. I want to test drive and I can't seem to get one. Right, I'll have to stop you there, Uncle T, because a few things have happened since I filmed that video. And we have had a test drive now, quite an extended one actually, of the new Nissan Leaf. Now then, I can't do a video of that actual test drive. It was a little complicated actually, because I was asking questions about it. And the questions I was asking was on the speed limiter. And the speed limiter on the ID3, it will read road signs and it will change when you go into a different speed limit automatically. It will do this without you having to do anything. You just start, switch on, get ready, and then select the speed limiter and then engage it, and off you go, and it will stay that way throughout your journey. Nothing will alter. So saying that, I checked and I couldn't find anything that told me. It was a bit contradictory whether the new Nissan Leaf would actually do that, and apparently it does not. So this was quite a deal breaker for me. I realized that I'd have to keep setting it each time I went into a new speed limit with the button on the steering wheel. Now, I'm not going backwards, because the Renault Zoe, you used to have to do that, and that was several years ago since we had a Renault Zoe, and I used to run a YouTube channel on the Renault Zoe if anybody wants to look back and see. But yes, that that speed limiter used to be manually adjusted each time you changed from, say, 30 to 40 or back or whatever. So I've become so used to the speed limiter doing this automatically for me that I decided that it was a deal breaker. Now, I'm not saying that the new Nissan Leaf is a bad car. It's actually brilliant, and yes, you can use the new, whatever they call it, auto cruise control or whatever it is. I think they call it Pro Pilot on that. It's a very similar idea. It reads the road signs and it does change. It does change, but just knocking around town, you're fiddling about with it if you're using the speed limiter. Now, according to VW, they do the new speed limiter on the Volkswagen Polo. I've looked at the spec and all the information, and guess what? We are now going to have a Volkswagen Polo. Not for a while. It'll be sometime around about the October, probably late October. But anyway, we haven't had a chance to test drive that one. But the actual buttons and things are of a very familiar style to the ID3. Some of them are in different places, but basically it does all the same sort of things and a few more little tricks. So we're having the launch edition, which the launch edition will be quite good because it's got all the bells and whistles on it. The only thing the launch edition does not have, and it's not an option, you cannot change it, is it doesn't have a heat pump. Now, that is not a deal breaker for me. We've decided that the heat pump doesn't matter as much as the speed limiter, or the fact that it's got all the other little trinkets. It's got the pano roof, same as this one, and it's only at the moment on the launch edition. It's going to be in yellow, which is the base colour for the launch edition, which is very strange. All the other colours are charged, so if you don't have yellow, you have to pay for them, which is kind of weird. It's a little bit like that Uncle Henry thing on Ford, where you can have any colour as long as it's black. Well, you can have even black, but it'll cost you, I think it was £470 in British pounds. So, you know, to my mind, I like the yellow anyway, and back in the day I used to have a yellow Escort, and if anybody knows me, they'll know that yellow Escort was with me for quite some time. And I did quite a lot to it. I'm very proud of my little yellow Escort. It was a Mark 1, it had the Sibbies on the front, fancy wheels on it, and I changed the engine a few times. Anyway, that said, that's what's going to happen. Now I've got a walk around video just on the outside of the new Nisan Leaf. The wife said, well, it does feel a little bit big. I think I might have a bit of trouble with it. It's not that it's any bigger in actual physical size as such. It just does have quite a bit of difference on the height and the size of the bonnet and all the rest of it. Anyway, I'm just going to say that the other thing is the door height of the windows is higher, which gives that slightly more, well, I don't know if it's claustrophobic feel, but it does give you a feel that the windows aren't big enough. Now that wasn't a deal breaker either. I could have lived with that. But for the speed limit to be a problem, then no, unfortunately not. So I'll leave you to Google the Polo VW Polo launch edition, and it's the EV version obviously, and see what you think. I actually like it. I don't think it's a come down. It's actually a little bit more miles than this one on range, not massively, but I think we could squeeze a few more miles out of it. We don't drive like lunatics anyway. The speed is roughly the same as this one, which is the Pro Performance. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay, I can live with that. That's pretty much the same as what we've already got. And there we are. Okay, this video was done just after the eclipse, so you'll know roughly when it was. The day after, actually. And I'll let you carry on with Uncle T, but just ignore all the bits about not being able to test drive the Nisan Leaf. We did 2 test drives in it with a great guy in Ilkeston. The salesman in Ilkeston was Adam, and he was a great guy. He went through all the settings and tried to make the speed limiter work in the way I wanted it to, but it seems to have the setting, but it just doesn't work that way. And maybe they will update it in the future, I don't know, but it actually cost them a sale, because I was so close to saying this car is it, this is our next car, and it didn't happen. So thanks, Adam, for all your effort you put in. And it was the Virtue Motors Nisan at Ilkeston, and give them a shout and say thank you very much. Okay, and with that I'll say bye for now, but I'll carry on with the video. So if anybody's had enough of me yakking on, they can stop the video now, or they can just carry on for the finishing bits and bobs on the video. Okay, I was looking, as I said before in my previous video, depending on how things go, the Volkswagen Polo looks quite tempting. It's not out yet. When it's out, we'll have a look at that. And that's about it. So I'll say bye for now. Bye for now.